All right, so you guys have Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. Work, money, things of material value could certainly be the focus. Now, I do see you going kind of eye to eye with this Knight of Pentacles. This could be someone who you feel like is wearing a lot of armor or who's taking too long. Maybe you're feeling emotional that it's taking quite some time to get an offer that you've expected, or to hear news, or like someone's supposed to come back around and tell you something, but I feel like you're waiting and you're attempting to wait patiently, but at the same time you're thinking heavily about how much longer do I have to wait for things to really start to move forward. And since this is general, this can apply to all aspects of your life. Yourself, I feel like you might be feeling more like the Queen of Cups, so you might be on the emotional end this month overall. You might feel very intuitive, like you know what's going to happen, or you get a sense for things that are around you or how things are going to turn, whether they're in your favor or not. And I feel like you have the capability of being patient, but at the same time you're losing it, and that might give you this heightened emotional vibe. Seven of Pentacles, as I've said, is a card that requires patience. You've worked quite hard. You know, you start to see that things are beginning to manifest. They're at those stages where it's giving you some form of proof that the effort you've put in is coming to fruition, but at the same time not quite. It's like 60-70% there, and you're a little bit frustrated as to when it's really going to finalize and things will really get moving. So slow energy in January, slow starts. Love, we have the Two of Swords, Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles. And I feel like you're keeping yourself away from the dating scene. If you are not single and you're currently in a committed relationship, there's some level of avoidance here, or not really wanting to progress further. Maybe you're just keeping things to yourself. I get the Four of Pentacles is withholding information. They're guarding themselves. You know, they might feel, it could be that you feel secure in your life, you know, and with your romantic partner. But for the most part, I get this withholding, maybe pulling back a little bit from your other partner, just because either for the moment you need to, you're not feeling it, or you're just having one of those time periods where you're not really feeling all that connected, especially emotionally, because the Two of Swords is blinded to their emotions. They're trying to purely think logically and maybe make a clear decision. There is stalemate energy here. So if you needed to make some sort of decision, or you and your partner were planning on anything, then this is like a stalled energy. It's not quite happening yet. I feel mostly because you're not ready. Now, for some of you, it could be that your partner is the one who's doing this, and there's just a stalemate that you're experiencing, and you're kind of withholding from sharing your emotions, sharing how you feel about the way the situation currently is. Single-wise, as I've already said, you could be dating, but there's no one that's grasped your attention yet. And I do feel like you're not emotionally invested in the dating scene or with anyone that you're currently connecting, talking to. As an outcome, we have the Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, manifestation, you know, material wealth coming in here with the Ace. I love the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the Devil next to it, which is a great combo in my opinion. Now, some of you might get a new career opportunity, new work opportunity, and with the Devil next to it, it could be that you are bound to this opportunity because maybe there's a lot of work involved. But I do often get with the Devil that there is a passion there, that you are almost the one who is obsessed with the opportunity, the job, that you won't chain yourself because you like it that much. And is that a bad thing or not? It depends on the person. I, for one, you know, I'm quite obsessed with tarot, and I could do it all day, and I wish I could. So do I see that as a bad thing if I did tarot 24/7? Not at all. As long as it makes me content. And in my opinion, it's if it's great to you, if you feel like you're satisfied with your life situation, you're happy, your well-being is just feels content, then, you know, more power to you, I say. Anyway, so Devil and the Ace, opportunity can be coming in that you feel a strong attachment to. You're very excited about. You want to start it. You almost don't want to let go of it by any means. You don't want to go home. Why? I'm having so much fun. That's what I'm getting. It does not just have to be career. It could be like a big bundle of money that drops on your lap and you're figuring out how to spend it. It could be, you know, just, well, this does apply to career and work, but I don't necessarily mean the 9-to-5s. I always like to clarify that it could be, you know, if you have your own little business project that you were starting up, this is gaining momentum with that. And it could be that you're working exceptionally long hours for that purpose, but you love it. So at the same time, it's not weighing on you negatively. I will say just pay attention, you know, to the time that you spend, as long as you don't sacrifice your physical well-being and you get enough sleep and all that stuff, then great, you know, take advantage of the fact that you have something that you love to really be attached to. All right, so what can you tell me about the Queen of Cups? Oh, okay. All right, so emotionally speaking, you might feel a little bit out of control to the point where you are bitchy and there is an element of saying things that you could potentially regret, because I feel like the emotional side could be bubbling up so much that words are coming out that after the fact, after you feel more balanced, you're like, did I really say that? And, you know, you definitely might regret it a bit with the 9 of Wands here. Others of you, it could be another person, the Queen of Swords, who themselves are the evil bitch. and that person is causing you to feel a bunch of emotions. And you are hurt by them because they're being very harsh towards you. They said something that hurt your feelings. And you're like wounded here. 7 of Pentacles. What are you waiting for? You're waiting to get clarity, to get the truth, for everything to make sense. And I think it's just, with 7 of Pentacles, just a matter of waiting. You're like, when am I going to finally get the answers that I want? That's the vibe that I'm getting. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. All right, so let's get one for the 2 of Swords. The Devil, our good friend the Devil, made another appearance here. Some of you are keeping yourselves emotionally detached to avoid being detached. I'm sorry, not to avoid being detached, to avoid being attached to another person. So it's as if you're trying to distance your emotions, just be logical and rational. Whoever you date is just like, do they fill out this check form or checklist? And if they do, you give them a shot, but there's no real connection. You're trying to keep the energy of the Devil where you feel passionate, you feel strongly attached to someone. You're trying to keep that out of it. You might be trying to avoid toxic situations or relationships, involvements that you know will lead down the path of the Devil. All right, 4 of Pentacles. Okay, I am thinking that that's what I said earlier, where it's this inability at this time to really share your feelings. This did show up, you know, like that. And I think that you definitely have feelings that are going on, that are bubbling up. They're there maybe for someone or just feelings in general about your dating life. But you're withholding that because you kind of don't want to be emotional at this time. Even though generally speaking, it seems like you are with the Queen of Cups. All right, so let's get one for the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. Oh, no. It's not a bad card. For sure. I mean, it's the 8 of Swords. It's a card of feeling trapped. And I don't like that being associated with the Devil because the Devil itself can sometimes mean that. And I like seeing the Devil card in a positive light whenever possible. And it does feel that way. But this does shed light on the fact that this new opportunity might make you feel anxious. Maybe it's a performance thing. If you can rise up to the challenge, that could be the thing that, you know, chains you to the opportunity because you're trying to prove yourself. You're also anxious about a waiting period, which came up here. Maybe, because I get the vibe that this comes up by the end of January, so the opportunity's there, and you're like all over it with the devil. But I think you're anxious about how it's all going to work out in the end, if it's going to be worth it. I think that's what this energy is about. All right, so let's get one love oracle. Fondness. Tender, soft feelings exist between you. So there is romantic energy here, relationship or single. And if you're single, you're probably going to meet someone that you connect with. But I think that you're going to try not to have that connection, but you're going to have it anyway with funds. There's attraction happening. And that could be why you're like, no, I don't want to feel this just yet. I can't. It's too soon. Meanwhile, the vibe of fondness is growing. So good luck trying to dodge that one. I cannot shuffle these cards, so if you're watching, you can laugh. I don't care. All right. Let's get one from these. Round and round. All right. So for some of you, just in general, in January, might feel like you're not progressing anywhere, at least to where you expected or where you want to go. It might feel like you're going around in circles for the meantime. That's the vibe I get with this card. However, I really like the colors. It feels so soft and soothing and relaxing that I do feel like January might calm down by the end of it, and you might settle into a more soothing energy aside from the anxiety that's creeping up. And there could definitely be a lot of emotions that are coming in with this. It's just making me feel that. It's so pastel-y, pink and blues. But I do feel like overall, you might feel like you're stuck in a bit of a loop or not in a favorable cycle, at least yet. Doesn't mean that things won't change, because overall, this is not super negative energy. And I do like this opportunity is coming up for you. The anxieties and all that waiting stuff is all in your head, I feel like. Straight to the cards. We have the Six of Swords, Death, the Knight of Rods. Some of you might have had a trip planned this week, and for whatever reason that is being canceled or being rescheduled, or it's just simply not happening according to your expectations. It doesn't have to be a trip. It could be a move as well. Some of you may have thought that things were, you were leaving a situation that was a bit rocky and things were smoothing out. It could be that all the problems have yet to be fully resolved, and, some little small issues might come up again that you'll have to meet. And I see that here in the Seven of Wands as the outcome cards, which is a card of, being defensive, but you are persevering. Anyway, that could be coming up for you. There might just be some small matters to take care of before a situation is truly over and, put to bed, put to rest is what I'm getting. With the Knight of Rods, what's interesting is that looking at it now, I am seeing the Knight and Death looking at each other as if they're going against each other. Ooh. And it could be that in regards to a move or a trip or something like that that has been canceled or is about to be canceled, you and another person might be going at it. Maybe one person can't go and it's affecting your plans, and that is a source of contention there between, again, you and another for the week. And this could have been some sort of thing that you were planning for the new year. And again, it might not have quite panned out. But I will say, just all in all, with the Knight of Wands or Rods here coming after Death, in terms of the energy that comes after an ending that Death usually brings, it is quite positive, and it is supportive of that passionate, fresh beginning that I would like to see in the new year, because the Knight of Wands is a card of adventure. It is one of my messenger cards as well, so you might be hearing a lot from various people. And I feel like it's people that you couldn't see as well, that might have to do with the plans that didn't quite fall through. But regardless, this is nice energy to have following this card, because this energy is ready to go, ready to begin something or become involved in something. And it's quite rapid as well. It's a bit risky energy too, but you're engaged in that energy with passion, if that makes sense. It's like you're interested in possibly trying new things as well is what I'm getting for the first week of January. You might have this little New Year spark that says, I want to be adventurous and do this, this, and that. And that could be something that you're planning for the week. Not necessarily just for the week, but planning within the week. All right, so I don't know why I started shuffling. For the outcome cards, we have the Chariot and the Seven of Wands. So as an outcome for the week, this week in itself will be quite busy for you. Chariot is a card of momentum. It's also a card of victory. And even this looks like victory here too. If you have any people that are giving you trouble or that you're struggling against, which is essentially the same thing, I feel that you will come out on top. You will be able to essentially battle anyone who gets in your way and keep moving forward with momentum. This is successful energy. This is perseverance and continuing to stand your ground without, as I said, letting other people slow you down. That's not going to happen. All right, so guide me to one for the Six of Swords. What's the Six of Swords about exactly? I mean, that to me speaks to that new beginning. Maybe you had a plan to either go somewhere you haven't been before, because this is new energy, and that was the plan for the first week of January. But with Death next to it, let me see, what's Death about? I feel like this Queen of Rods, maybe this was someone who was supposed to go with you and they couldn't quite go. So maybe you are going anyway, you're going alone and you're being adventurous with the Knight of Rods and going anyway. However, you might be upset that this person is no longer going because that was the original plan, but you might not let that weigh you down. That could be a friend, it could be a partner too. Some of you might actually be traveling to get away from this person. That could be what that's about. Knight of Rods. Where's the Knight of Rods going? King of Cups. Maybe you found another friend or someone else is going with you. Someone else who is willing to take the risk and say, hey, you know what? They're not going. Give me their ticket. I'll take it and I'll go with you. They could be feeling quite adventurous. Maybe they're reaching out or you're reaching out to them and they're taking you up on the opportunity. So I do think that after all, you are going to have a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy yourself for the first week of January. And if you did have plans, well, I originally said that for some, it might be canceled because of someone else. It could be the fact that someone else is not going with you and you're just going anyway, despite them. And for some of you, you found someone else to go with because they're like all over that opportunity. King of Cups will be the person that you're going with. This is the person who's not going. All right, I'm just gonna do an overhand. Let me just get what, okay. Did not even finish talking. So that's a side energy, and this is the Queen of Pentacles. That could be your energy overall for the week. You might be feeling very confident, stable when it comes to finances. Some of you might find just that you're having a very relaxed attitude as well. There's a comfort aspect to the week overall. You could be, again, having a lot of success when it comes to money, your own business or your current job. And that's where the momentum is flowing. But let's get one directly for these two. As I said, balance is there, momentum's going forward, no one is stopping you, and I feel that you feel quite confident overall. Yes, this could be someone who's supporting as well, or who you're working with. I feel like it might be your energy. Either or, it's positive. So balanced week overall, momentum going strong, especially when it comes to finances. If anyone gives you any trouble, you're knocking them down. You're actually probably running through them and overpowering the situation. And continuing to have success, I feel.